Welcome back to another video. Today we've got an interesting one for you. A couple good calculators for you to put in your tool bag. Before we start the video, I'd like to do two things. One is to ask you to hit the like button because it really does help my videos get spread. And the second one is to just give you guys a little bit of an overview about what I think about debt in general. So debt, as far as consumer debt, I think that, you should be allergic to it. Just try to get it out of your life as soon as possible. Mortgage debt, I'm a little bit more neutral on, more forgiving of, right? So if you want to pay off your mortgage debt early, I can see the utility of that. If you want to leverage it and get leverage returns in real estate, I can see the utility of that. You got to admit that there's something to be said about having no payment. Something to be said about having that extra capital to be freed up to do something else. If you wanted to invest it in a business, if you wanted to invest it in the stock market, alternative assets, if you wanted to just have that peace of mind that there's no payment coming at the beginning of each month. So I'm not here or there on it, but I will say that ever since November 2018 when I bought my house, it hasn't even been 3 years yet, and I've already made $33,500. My house is worth $280,000 because home prices keep going up. We keep on printing more money, and because of that, the price of homes keep on going up, and I didn't pay anything to be in my current home. So anyways, let's get into this first calculator, mortgage calculator. So I'm assuming that my mortgage starts today, because I've refinanced recently and it's got 29 years on it, 2.7% interest rate, 2.75 rather, and we'll continue to the next page. All right, so if we had no extra payment, we're obviously saving zero interest and we're saving no time. So this is pretty much how much you're going to pay for the house, principal plus interest, and the total interest is going to be $111,000. Now, there are some math tricks that you can do that will tell you that because the dollar is being devalued, it might make sense to actually pay that, but we're not going to get into that today. So let's say that we had $500 on extra payment. That would save you a lot of interest, right? Your new interest would be $61,000, and you would save 12 years and 2 months. Let's say that you cranked it up to $2,000. All right, and you can come in here and play with this yourself. Your payoff date would be 8 years from now, essentially, October 2028. And you would save a lot of money in interest. You'd only pay $26,000 in interest. If you put it up to, let's say, $3,000 or $35,000, let's say $3,500, let's have some fun here. All right, your payoff date would be February 2026. Okay, so essentially, if you pay a lot into that mortgage, you can pay it off pretty quickly and go forward with your life mortgage free. All right, next one is the debt repayment calculator. So I just went with a pretty simple example here, $15,000 owed. I assume that it was a credit card, so 20.28. That is the average amount of money owed on that is the average interest rate for a credit card. And you can either go with desired monthly payment or desired payoff time. So if you wanted to pay it off in a year, let's say, you would pay $1,698 and you'd pay $15,000 in, well, it says 6 in principal. Basically down here, you can go with see additional balances. So what if you started with a different balance, a higher or lower balance? How would that affect your time? See additional rates. You could see if you were able to, let's say, refinance your interest rate. What would that do to your time? And see additional payments. So what if I increased or decreased my payment? What would that do to the time? So let's go up here and just see the other option. Let's just put in, I don't know, $500 for the expected payment. Calculate that. And if we were to pay $500 towards it, we can see how long it would take us to pay off this debt. And then once again, we can see additional payments. What if we paid more or less? What if we changed our interest rate? And what if we changed the initial balance? All right, so that's another good calculator. Credit Karma credit card repayment calculator. That was a mouthful. And the Dave Ramsey retirement or mortgage calculator. Next one is the Bankrate Best Retirement Calculator. So there are actually a lot of insights in here. So we'll go down these one by one. Current age, I just set that to the average age that people start contributing to retirement, which is 31, last I checked. Age of retirement, I just set that to when you can actually start withdrawing from your retirement accounts and collecting Social Security. Let's put this back to about an average household income. So let's say $50,000. All right. And annual retirement savings, most people save about 8 to 10%. So let's put this to 8%. Okay. current retirement savings, a lot of people don't have that much saved. Let's just put them to, I don't know, $25,000. Expected income increase over time, 2%. We're putting the expected required income, let's put that back to 90% where they originally had it. So if we assume these things, we assume a 2% inflation rate during retirement, this person would retire at 60 and they would run out of retirement savings at 70. All right. So what I want you guys to take note of are the numbers that actually move this. So if we decided to retire later, we know that let's check that out. We will make it to 82 with our retirement savings. All right, let's put this back to 60, calculate. If we decided to crank up our retirement savings percentage, let's put this up to, let's say 30 and calculate. This person would retire and they would make it all the way to the end of their projected retirement, which is 35 years. And the balance would be $726,000, okay? Let's put that back down to 8, all right. If you spent less in retirement, let's say that you only spent 70% of your income at retirement, you'd make it a little bit further. All right, let's say that you spent 60%. You make it to 75, you make it to 81, okay? Here's one interesting thing that I want people to understand, and a lot of people will downplay how much inflation actually affects people. So let's say that inflation ran really hot at 10%. Let's see what happens to our retirees who are on fixed incomes. At our previous assumptions, they're making it to 81 years old with their retirement savings. If we put it from 2 to 10% inflation, now they're only making it to 77. Okay, so retirees are going to feel it if we see a lot of money printing and a lot of inflation because they live on a fixed income. One thing to note for millennials is over here, you can check this, include or don't include Social Security. So if you do include Social Security with all of these assumptions, you get 77 years old. If you don't, you get 68 years old. So big inflation, no Social Security, that could be what's coming for millennials. So come in here and play with this calculator. Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to show you guys is the APY calculator from Omni Calculator. So I'm assuming a 3% interest rate here because through H.M. Bradley, which I have a link in the description below, you can get a 3% interest rate. You just have to do some tricks with direct depositing and savings rates, but I have a video about that you can watch after this video. I'll tag it at the end of the video. I just put this to my emergency fund amount because typically you don't want to park an emergency fund into the stock market or something volatile like that, or gold or anything that is considered an investment. So if you were to park that into H.M. Bradley, you'll make $456.80. So that's what I'll make this year on my savings. So anyways, hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next video.